Hello friends and welcome to YouTube channel Freedom Tech, and in this session what we are going to learn. In this session we are going to create a free parking space counter with the help of YOLOv8. But before we move to our practical, friends, if you learn something from our videos, please consider to subscribe our channel. Okay friends, thank you so much and let's get started. So friends, as I mentioned, we are going to create here free space counter for parking area with the help of YOLOv8 pre-trained object detection model. For that, first, this is what our Windows 11 machine. Of course, you can use your Windows 10 machine also. So let's just open Thony Python IDE and we want to install our packages. So OpenCV-Python, hit enter. It will install OpenCV-Python. Click on install, it will install OpenCV. Then we need a Ultralytics package, Ultralytics, hit enter, Ultralytics package, click on install, it will install Ultralytics. Then we need CV zone package, hit enter, and second package CV zone, it will install CV zone on our Windows machine. That's it, we have done with package installation. So we need our repository. So for today's session I have created a new repository which is YOLOv8 advanced parking space detection. I will mention the link. You need to simply copy paste the link inside the browser, then go to the code, click on download zip, and it will download our zip format repository. As you can see, we have successfully downloaded. Then go to the file manager, downloads, right click to the repository, WinRAR, and extract with the folder name. We have folder, same folder, again same folder, and then we have our files. So simply we are going to count a free space in two scenarios. Basically we have here two parking lot areas. So easy1.mp4 is which is our first video, and easy.mp4 is basically our second video. So let's just start easy1.mp4. So friends, as you can see, this is the time-lapse video for parking area, and here it is. As you can see, we have cars in parking area. There is some free space also. So our goal is to count free space. Simple. So for that we are going to use here YOLOv8. So this is what our first scenario, and easy.mp4. This is what our second scenario, where we have aerial view. So here it is. As you can see, we have a parking space, free space, we have cars on the park area. So simply our goal is to count free space with the help of YOLOv8. So for that, let's just start easy1.mp4. so friends, for creating a counter, we want to monitor here each parking space individually. We want to monitor each parking space individually. Means, first let me explain the concept. We are going to use here our YOLOv8 pre-trained object detection model. Means we can detect here a car. If you want to create your own custom model, you can simply create your own custom object detection model also. But in this tutorial, we are not going to create a custom model. We have basic pre-trained model where we can detect the cars. So we can simply detect the cars. But as I mentioned, we want to monitor here each parking space individually. Let's just say here, as you can see, we have car. So of course there is no space here. As you can see, there is no car, means we can say there is a space. So for that, we want to draw the polyline in each parking spot area. Means if I want to monitor this particular area, I just want to draw here a polyline. And then our object detection YOLOv8 pre-trained model will detect there is a car, means there is no space. Here, as you can see, here also we want to draw a polyline, and because there is no car, so of course we can say there is no car. Simple. So our first goal is to draw a polyline on each parking space area. So without drawing manually a polyline, we are going to create here automatic method for drawing polyline with the help of mouse event. So let's just start. For that, I have created here test1.py and test2.py. This is what our two Python code. So test1.py is basically for drawing polylines using mouse event, and test2.py is basically for object detection, where we detect our cars. We create a counter with the help of YOLOv8. So let's just start with test1.py, because first we want to draw the polyline. So let's just open test1.py. So this is what our test1.py. Here we want to mention our video file name. So easy1.mp4, and because this is the time lapse video, so here we want to increase some weight key. So I have mentioned 100. Save the code, and if I run the code, and as you can see, this is what our first scenario. And as I mentioned, first we want to draw a polyline. So for that, we want to create here mouse event function. So let's just create our function here. Let's just say def draw. This is the function name, draw. Inside that we want to mention here a parameters. So event, then xy coordinates, then flags, then parameters. This is what our draw event xy flags parameters. This is what our objects for mouse event. Then as I mentioned, let's just start our video file. Yes, here I want to mention hash. Okay, now it will start our video file. So as I mentioned, we want to draw, let's just say we want to draw here a polyline here on this particular area. What is our action? Basically our action is because when we want to draw the polylines, there is a starting point and there is a continuous points and there is a ending point. Because let's just say this is what my starting point. So here I am going to click my mouse left button, then I am going to move my mouse over the area like this way, and then here I have completed my action, then I have released my mouse left button. This is what my total action for drawing polyline on area, each particular area. Left button click, then mouse move. This is what area. We have completed our polyline action. Left button release of our mouse. So our action is L button down, mouse move, and L button up. This is the three events which we want for drawing polylines. L button down, click, then mouse move event, then when we completed, L button up. Simple. So let's just create our event. So now I am going to uncomment the function, and let's just say if event is equal to cv2 dot first event mouse L button down, event all the way capital L button down, L button down. Then simply for our knowing purpose we can print our xy coordinates. So we want to call our mouse event function. So where we have cv2.imshow, after that we want to say cv2.set m capital mouse c capital call back, and inside that we want to mention our window name, which is frame all the way capital, frame, and then we want to mention our function name, which is draw. This one, draw. Save the code and run the code. So now if I click my mouse left button anywhere on the frame inside shell, as you can see we have xy coordinates. we have starting point for drawing polylines. Now we have done with starting point. Now we want our mouse move event for next point. Simple. So there is no need to print xy coordinates now. So simply here we can say when we click our L button down, in that time we want to mention the points. We are basically mentioning the points in list format. So points is equal to like this way, and inside that we want to mention x and y. Square bracket, then simple bracket, and mention the xy. When we click our L button, points is equal to xy, like this way. Then as I mentioned, mouse move event. So elif event is equal to c2 dot event, and mouse move event if it is there. Simple. Now what we want to again, for our knowing purpose, we want to print here x and y coordinates. So just save the code and run the code. Oh, there is a like this way elif. Now if we move our mouse on the frame, as you can see inside the shell we have coordinates. So we completed our two action: L button down, then mouse move. Then now we want to create L button up action, means left button release action. So here we want to mention same way, just copy it. Only we are going to change here our function event mouse move along with L button up. L button up. L button up. So when we up our L button, of course in that time we want to create a list. We want to create a list in np.array format with the help of our points. So for that, simply first let's just create for drawing, because we are going to draw a polyline. So for drawing we want to mention here a drawing. So drawing is just a variable, global variable. So when we start our code, in that time we are not going to draw anything. So when we start our code, drawing is basically false. Drawing is basically false. Simple. And then when we press our left button, in that time we want to mention drawing is equal to true. Drawing is equal to true, because now we are started to draw a polylines. Simple. And then here we want to mention a global variable which is the points of our mouse, and then drawing. This is what our global. Here I want to mention a comma. Global points and drawing. This is what our variable. Then drawing is equal to true, and then we want to mention here. If event L button down, and then we have points x y coordinates. Simple. Now as I mentioned, when we move our mouse, in that time we want to save all the points, because we are moving our mouse on that particular area. So we have all the way x y coordinates. So we want to save all the points inside the list. So delete the print xy, mention the points dot append, and we want to mention in tuple format xy, and here we want to create points is equal to empty list. Now we have our points, so we want to simply convert this point in NP array, because we are going to create here a polyline. So polylines dot append, we want to save all the points in NP array format inside polylines list. So polylines dot append np dot array, np dot array, and then we want to mention in simple bracket, we want to mention here our points, then we want to mention np dot in 32. That's it. Now here we want to create polylines is equal to empty list. Polylines is equal to empty list, so it will append points in this format in here in polylines list. That's it. Now simply we have our list, we have our points, so we can simply here also we want to mention when we left button up, we want to mention drawing false, because now we don't want to draw anything. When we completed our full action, L button down, mouse move, and then we have we release our left button, it means we completed our polyline. So here drawing is equal to false, and in mouse event we want to append our points list if drawing is there. If drawing is already enabled, then only we are going to append our xy coordinates inside our points list. Simple. So now just save, and now we have our polylines, so we can simply call our polylines where we have cv2.resize method for polyline in our polylines list, for polyline in polylines, for polyline in polylines, we are going to draw our polylines. So cv2.polylines, we want to draw our polylines on our frame. Then we want to mention here, what else we want? We want to mention our polyline, our points. So polyline in list format, polyline. Then we want to mention true, then the color, let's make it red, and then the thickness, let's say 2. Simple. So cv2.polylines frame, polyline true, color, and 2. So we have here polylines. With the help of polylines.append np.array points np.in32, we are saving the points inside our polylines list. So simply we are going to create here for loop for polyline in our polylines list. We want to mention cv2.polylines frame polyline, this polyline, and we can simply draw a polyline. So let's just save the code, and if I run the code, so now let's just say if I want to draw the polyline on this particular area where there is no car, so our action is L button down, mouse move, then L button release, and then as you can see there is a polyline. So we automate our process. Let's just say I just want to draw the polyline on this particular parking spot. So same way, L button down, move your mouse on that particular area. Here we completed our polyline, release your left button, and then you have polyline. Let's just say same way here. This is what our next area, draw the polyline, complete the polyline, L button up, we have polyline. Here also same way, L button up, we have polyline. Then for this, as you can see, we have here already car. So let's just draw the polyline in car shape like this way. Completed, release the L button, we have polyline. Here also completed, release left button, we have polyline. Here also completed, release left button, we have polyline. For this parking area, same way, let's just draw the polyline. Completed, release, we have polyline. For this also there is a car already, so we are going to simply draw the polyline in car shape, there is a polyline. For this area also, just draw the polyline like this way. Done. There is a polyline. You can draw anywhere. Let's just say here polyline, here polyline. So we successfully draw a polyline. We automate the process. That's it. Now we want to assign the name for each polyline. Let's just say this is what my area 1, this is what my area 2, this is what my area 3. So how we can do this? Simply, and we want to take the name from user input. For that we want to mention here user input, where when we release our left button, we completed our process. In that time we want to mention, please give the name, means we want to mention the user input. So here drawing false. After that current name, you can mention any variable. Current name is just a variable. Current name is equal to our input method, input, and we want to mention area name like this way. And then here we want to mention current name over here is equal to double quote, space, and again double quote. Simple. Current name, double quote, space, and double quote. Here we mention current name input. So here we can say if the current name is there, we can simply append all the names inside list. So area names dot append, and inside that we want to pass current name. Copy it, mention current name. It will append all the current name inside our area name list. So area names is equal to empty list. Area names is equal to empty list. Now simply we can say here the polylines append will come inside the current name. When we have current name, area names append, it will save all the current name inside our area name list, and then polylines dot append nparray points np dot int32. This is the method. So just save it and run the code. Now if I draw the polylines over here, as you can see, we completed the drawing function. As you can see, I am moving my mouse, but there is no polyline because we want to mention here area name, because we mention like this way: if the current name, then it will append the name, and then it will append the polylines points. So mention the area name. Let's just say 1, hit enter. Current name, what is the problem? The current name is like this way. I have mentioned here a wrong variable. This is way. Okay, save it, run it. Same way, let's just draw the polylines on our area. Mention 1. This is what our area name. Hit enter, and then as you can see, there is a polyline. Means the one text, or we can say the one number, is basically assigned for this particular polyline. But how to show the text on the polyline, or we can say how to show the text on particularly assigned for each polyline? Means we draw here polylines, but how to assign this area name for this particular polyline? So for that, simply we create a list, and inside that list we are saving each name, and then here we have our polyline. So simply we can enumerate the polyline points. So then we have, when we completed our polyline, we have the number. Simple. So here I polyline in enumerate and the polyline like this way. polylines. Now we have the number of polylines, means let me show you here. If we print here I, print I, save the code, run the code. Let's just draw here polyline. Mention the area name 1, hit enter, and as you can see, 0 index. Why 0? Because we draw a 1 polyline. So 0 means we have 1 polyline, and the name which we assign as a 1 will basically assign for this 0 index, means this polyline. So let's just draw another polyline. Let's just draw for this car. Okay, mention the area name which is 1, not 1 because we assigned already 1. So this is what my second area. So 2, hit enter, and now as you can see we have 0 and 1. So 0 for 1, and this 1 is basically for our next index, for our second polyline. So it will automatically assign the name for 1, means this polyline. So simply we can say here where we draw our polyline, so we can simply say CV zone dot put text all the way capital T capital, CV zone dot put text R capital rect, and inside that we want to mention our frame, then F in curly braces, in single quote we want to mention our list area names. So mention area names, and we want to mention our index, the polyline index, which is I, as we already print. This is the index value for each polyline, 0, 1. So we want to mention area names with index value I. That's it. Now, comma, we want to show our area names on our polylines. So tuple, in that we want to mention the polyline. So mention polyline, and we want to draw the polyline on our first point, which is 0 index. Polyline 0 index, and then the CV zone rectangle, and inside that rectangle we have our text. So this is the size for rectangle 1, and this is the size for text 1. So save the code, and if I run the code, let me check here if I import. Yes, first we want to import here CV zone module. Save the code, run the code, and now if we draw here a polyline, now we want to mention the area name. So 1, hit enter, 0 index, and now if we open frame, as you can see 1 is there. We successfully draw the polyline, also we assign the name, area name. So let's just say if I want to draw, this is what our next area, so just draw like this way as a car shape. So this is what my second polyline, 2, hit enter, as you can see second. So let's just draw over here. So this is what my third polyline, 3, hit enter, there is a 3. Let's just draw over here for this particular area. I just want to move the mouse L button up, mention the area name which is the 4, hit enter, and as you can see, so we successfully draw polylines, we successfully assign the name for each polyline. That's it. Now if I stop the code and if I start the code, there is no polyline. So we want to create here a pickle file, and inside that file we want to save our polylines points. So let's just say import pickle, and here after Wait key, we want to mention again key, k is basically capital, key is equal to ORD, and inside that we want to mention S. Means when we press S from our keyboard, so we want to mention here like this way. If key is equal to ORDS, then we want to create our file with open, and inside that we want to mention our file name. So freedom tab, you can mention any name. Then we want to mention the permission, so WB and as F, like this way. Simple. So with open freedom tag, WB is the permission, right, as F. Then we want to mention here, we want to save here a polyline point, also our area names. The polylines also the area names. So we want to create a data format for our file. So let's just say data is equal to, we want to mention the format in curly braces, like this way. First our polylines, this is basically the row. We creating a simple table format. So this is what polylines, and then we are saving all the points for polylines. So polylines, and then polyline, then comma, then we want area names, then area names. Simple. So this is what our format. Inside our file we are saving our polylines, their polylines list, area names and area names. Simple. And then we want to say pickle dot dump, and what we want to dump? We want to dump our data, and then we want to dump our data in our F, because F is basically our file. And then we create our file. So let's just save the code, run the code. If there is error, we can, here I want to mention a comma. Save the code, run the code. Name key is not defined. Just a minute. Let me check here. Yes, this K is basically, I have mentioned here a small, so this K is basically capital. That's why there is error. So save the code, run the code. Now as you can see, there is no error. So simply we are going to draw here a polyline, complete our polyline, area name 1, hit enter, and there is a 1. Now if I press the S, we save our points inside our file. So if I open the repository, and as you can see, there is a freedom tag file, and inside that file we have our first polyline name, also the points, because we saving our data in this format, polylines and names. Now when we start our code, there is a points and there is a names, but we want to call our file when we start our code, then it will show all the points. So for that we save our points, but we want to call our file when we start our code. So just copy the method, copy it, let's say here, and just paste it. We want to mention, now we want to read our file, so RB, and then this data format we want to remove, and then pickle dot, we are not going to dump, we are going to load our file, pickle dot load, and we are going to load our file, so F, and this we are going to mention as our data. And then we want to mention polylines, lines and area names is equal to polylines and area names is equal to data in square bracket. We want to mention our names, our polylines and area names. Simple. So data from this file we want to call our polylines, and then comma data same way area names. That's it. And then here we mention area names. So this area names we want to mention first. After that we are going to mention with open, otherwise it will not read the area names. So first we want to mention area names, then just change the points after where we have polyline. Simple. And then here we want to mention a try method, try except method. Okay, try and escape method, okay. So try except, try or escaped our polylines. So what is the meaning? Means we are saving our polylines and area names inside our freedom tag file. So when we start our code, it will check if there is a polylines points and the area names available inside our freedom tag file. That's why we mentioned already the area names and try. It will try to check, it will try to find if there is data available inside freedom tag. If there is a data, then we have polylines, area names in list format, because we are saving the data in list way. If there is nothing, then it will go for new polylines, means then it will save all the new coordinates inside polylines. So this is the method. So just save the code, run the code. As you can see, the polyline which we draw is already there. So now let's just say if I want to draw the polyline on this particular car, so let's just draw like this way. Completed. We want to mention the area name, so 2, hit enter. There is a polyline, there is a name. So now we want to save our polyline, just press the S button, that's it, we save. If you stop the code and if you run the code, as you can see, we have 2 polylines already there, because we save these 2 polyline names along with their all points inside our freedom tag pickle file. That's it. So let's just draw all the way polylines on each area. Simple. So let me just draw the polylines on each area, then I will start again video. So friends, as you can see, I have drawn the polylines on each area. Simple. So we have done with polylines. Now we want to start our object detection. So stop the code, file, open, and test2.py, click on open. This is what our basic object detection model. So I have mentioned our code here. Basic code is I have already mentioned in the test2.py. Simply here we want to mention cv2.rectangle, cv2.rectangle, and we want to draw the rectangle on our frame. Then we want to mention our coordinates, which is x1 and y1. So x1, y1. Then what else we want? We want to mention x2 and y2. Then color 255, 255, 255. Let's make a white, and thickness 2. cv2.rectangle frame x1, y1, x2, y2, color, and the 2. So let's just save the code, and if I run the code, so first it will download our pre-trained model, then we have detection. Oh, I forget to mention here a file name, a video file name. Let's just download our model, then I will mention the file name also. So stop the code. Here I want to mention our video file name, which is easy1.mp4, and then save the code and run the code. And friends, as you can see, there is a detection, but I think the frame is increased. Here I have mentioned the frame resize 1020500, so I need to mention here 1020 and 50, because we draw the polylines for this width and height. So we want to mention the same width and height for our frame. So 1020,500, here also I have mentioned 1020,500. Now save the code, run the code. And as you can see, we have a detection. We are successfully detecting the cars. So we are done with object detection. Now as you can see, there is a person, so we want to simply mention here if condition. If there is car, only we want to detect the object. So let's just say here if car in C. If you don't know how to use YOLOv8 for object detection, I have created several videos how to detect object detection, how to track the objects. Watch my playlist, you will get the idea. Simple. So that's why I am not explaining object detection methods, because I have already explained in several videos. So if there is car in C, then only we are going to draw a rectangle. So it means now we are only detect a car class from our video. So as you can see, it will now detect only the car. So we successfully detect our object. Now we want to call our freedom tech pickle file in this test2.py. Then we will have the polyline which we draw on each area. So for that, stop the code, simply same way, just go here first, just copy this with open, copy it, test2.py, and here let's just mention here copy paste. That's it. Save the code. Now same way we want to create here a for loop. So just go here, test1.py, where we have for I polyline enumerate method, just copy as it is, come to the test2.py, and then here where we start our for loop, check it is in line. Here we want to simply paste our polyline method. So let's just cross check for loop. Yes, it is in line. As you can see, it's in line. Now simply it will draw our polylines. So save the code, and if I run the code, and friends, as you can see, we have now polylines with the help of our object detection method. So as I mentioned, now basically we are monitoring each area with our YOLOv8, because we draw the polylines on each spot. So we can simply say in each spot, if there is a car, then we can say there is no space. So for that, simply what we want here, we want here our cv2.pointPolygon test method. For cv2.polygon test method, we need a center point. So here we are going to make like this way. We can say if there is a car, the polyline color will become red. If there is no car, means there is a free space, the polyline color will become a green. So means we want to mention here all polylines color green. Then when we monitor, if there is a car inside our polyline, then it will become that particular area polyline color red. Simple. So let's just mention here color green. All polylines green color. Save the code, run the code, and as you can see, all polyline color now green. Now with the help of YOLOv8, when we detect our car in particular polyline area, then we can say make our polyline color red. So for that, first we want to mention our center point. So what we are going to do here, if car in C, we want to create a list. So let's just say list1 dot append, and inside that list we want to append our CX and CY. Mention here CX and CY, and here we want to create list1 where we have 4 index row. Here we want to mention our list1 like this way, list1. So if car in C, it will append the CX and CY coordinates in list1. Here I have called empty list, list1. Now we have our coordinates, the rectangle coordinates, not rectangle, we have our center point coordinates inside our list1. So simply here we have 4 I polylines. Inside that we want to mention for I1 in our list1, for I1 in our list1. Then of course we want to print our I1. So save the code. If I run the code, and as you can see friends, we have center point XY coordinate in list format. So this is what our X, this is what our Y, so 0 and 1. So now if we want to draw here a circle, so let's just say CV2 dot circle, and then we want to draw our circle on the frame. Then we want to mention here CX. First we want to mention CX1 and CY1. So I forgot to mention. So CX1 is equal to our I1 from I1 0 index is basically CX1. As you can see, this is the 0 index and this is the Y index. So CX1 is equal to I1 0 and CY1 is equal to I1 1. Simple. So here now we can mention CX1, CY1, radius level 5, and then color, let's make a 255 green, not green, blue, and then the thickness which is 2. CV2 dot circle frame CX1 CY1 5 radius, and the color which is blue 25500, and 2 is basically the thickness. For here we want to mention -1 because we are going to fill our circle. So -1 is there. Start the code, and as you can see, there is a center point on our each car, blue color center point on our each car. So now simply we can mention here our condition. If the car center point, if it is inside our area, inside our polyline area, then only we want to detect our object. Or we can simply say, if the car center point, if it is inside our area, then we are going to make our polyline color red. Otherwise the polyline color will be green because there is no car. So means there is an empty space, our polyline color will be green. If there is a car, means if there is a car center point, if it is inside our polyline area, the polyline color will become red, means there is no space. So simply we can say here we have CV2 dot circle. Here we want to say now result is equal to CV2 dot point polygon test P capital T capital test point polygon, only P is the capital, point polygon test, and then we want to mention our polyline. Where is polyline? This one, polyline, because this polyline is basically our area, because with the help of polyline we are drawing our polylines. So we want to mention here our polyline. So polyline line. So we mention our area. So now we want to mention the object center point. So object center point in this case cx1 and cy1. So cx1 in tuple format, inside that cx1 and cy1. That's it, and then mention the false. Now we will have a result in -1 or 1. So print result. If the car center point, if it is inside our area, means if it is inside our polyline, we have 1. Otherwise we have -1. So save the code, run the code. So as you can see, there is a -1, means there is no car, and if we scroll up, we have here 1 also. As you can see, we have here 1 also, 1.0, also here 1.0. So means we have here 1. So simply we can say if the result, if it is greater than is equal to 0, if our result, if it is greater than is equal to 0, then only we are going to draw a circle, and then we are going to draw a red color polylines. Means then we are going to make our polyline color red. So here we want to mention a red color. So this is the green color, just change with red one. Simple. So save the code and run the code. And as you can see friends, if I skip the frame, here it is. As you can see, when there is a car in our polyline area, the polyline color is basically red. Let's just now there is no need to draw a rectangle, then we will get the idea. So here I am going to comment a rectangle method, because main thing is our center point. So now it's really clear. As you can see, we have here in this area we draw a polyline, there is a car, so polyline color is basically red. So in this area there is a free space, the area name is 1, so we have here green color polyline, because we can say there is a free space, so polyline color is basically green. Here as you can see, the red color polyline area 2, because there is a car, we have center point inside our polyline area. This is what our condition. So there is a car and the polyline color is red. Here it is, as you can see, the third number area there is no car, so polyline color is green. Here it is same way, same way, same way. Here it is, as you can see, there is no car, the polyline color is green. That's it. So now what we want here, we want to simply create here a counter. So now let's just create our counter. So where we have our condition result, if it is greater than 0, here we want to create a counter, counter 1 dot append, counter 1 dot append, and inside that we want to append our cx1. Why cx1? Because cx1 is the center point. If it is inside our area, then we can say car count. If the point, if not inside area, there is no car count. So if we want to create a car counter, so counter 1 dot append mention cx1, and here where we started our for I polyline, here we want to mention counter 1 is equal to empty list. So this counter 1 is basically the list of our cx1, so the length of list is basically our counter. So simply we can say here car count, this is just a variable, car count is equal to length of our counter 1 list. Now simply we are going to use our CV zone put text method, just paste it, and we want to change some coordinates. So here we want to create a variable as a text. So let's just say car counter like this way. And then in curly braces we want to mention our car count. Copy it and paste it. Then we want to mention the coordinates of our frame where we want to put our text. So let's just remove these things and mention here a coordinates 50, 60, let's say, and then thickness of the rectangle 2, and the text thickness is also 2. So save the code, run the code. And as you can see friends, we have here car counter, and car counter is basically 5, means we have here 5 cars in our parking area. Parking area in the sense in our zone, we can say in our polylines area. So in this area we have 1 car, in this area we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, and we have 5. So we have 5 red zone, we can say, and the car counter is also 5. As you can see, now there is a 4 because we have 4 car, 1, 2, 3, 4. So car counter is 4. Now we want to count a free space area. So free space area is basically our polyline area minus our car counter. So here we have polylines area. Here it is, as you can see, the I is basically the polyline index 0, 1, 2, 3. So simply here also we want to create list2 dot append, and inside that we want to append our I. So I is basically the index number of our car, or not car, a polyline. And then here we can say list2 is equal to empty list, and then here we want to create free space is equal to our length of list2 minus car count. Then we have free space minus car count, then we have free space. So just copy the CV zone put text method, and we are going to change only our variable. So car counter will become a free space, free space, and then car count we want to mention our free space variable, which is our free space counter. Copy and just paste it, and then the coordinates will become 50, 160. Okay, so now simply save the code and run the code. And as you can see friends, if I skip some frame, free space is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 free space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 car counter means we have 5 cars and 5 free space available for parking. So let's just skip a frame. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 free space, car count in our area 1, 2, 3, 4. We counted 4 car again. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 free space and 5 car. So let's just skip a frames, and then we will get a new result. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Car counting 6 and free space area 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you can see, we successfully count free space. Also we successfully create a car counter for parking lot area. Now this is what our first scenario. So now simply what we are going to do, we need to first delete our pickle file. So go to the downloads and YOLOv8 advanced, same repository, just delete the pickle file because we have now our new scenario. So easy.mp4. So now also we want to change our file name. So in test1.py we want to change easy1 with easy. This is what our new scenario, and here also in test2.py easy. So test1 easy1.py, and here it is. As you can see, this is what our aerial view. So here simply same way, just move your mouse on the free space area. Then this is what area 1. We are not going to draw everywhere for this scenario. We are only going to test our same code. So I have draw the free space area. This is the first area. Let's just say this is what second area, and mention here 2. So we have a 2 free space. You can simply draw the polyline on everywhere, on every parking spot, but we are not going to draw polyline on every parking area. We are only going to test our same code. So done with a free space area. Then let's say just here, let's just draw our polyline, and this we can say area 3. And then let's just say I just want to count this car. So I will draw here polyline as a car shape, and this I can say 1, 2, 3, and the fourth. Hit enter. So we're done with polyline. So now simply we want to save our coordinates. So simply press S from our keyboard. That's it. We save our coordinates. Now simply run test2.py, because we mention our full code with detection. Now there is no need to change anything. We have our result ready. So let's just start our test2.py. And friends, as you can see, as I mentioned, if there is car, we have red color polyline. There is no car, we have green color polyline. Here it is also, as you can see, there is a car in 4th number area. The polyline color is red. 3 area polyline color is red. 1, 2 area polyline color is green. And car count, we count 2 cars, and free space is basically 2. So same way you can measure all the area. You want to simply draw here polylines on free space, and you don't want to change anything in test2.py, because we already create our code. You simply want, if you want to use the code, you simply want to delete your pickle file and just draw the new polylines, and that's it, done. You will have the result automatic. Simple. So I hope you will learn something from this video. We'll meet our next video. Till then, thank you, take care, and bye bye.